The FA Cup is arguably one of the best domestic competitions in the world. It's had its fair share of memorable moments. It's famous for its dramatic giant killings, coined the magic of the FA Cup. In the past decade, this famous cup has been dominated by England's elite. But look a little further, and we see a season that I'm sure we'll never see again. From a non-league team away at Anfield to a university team in the first round. From two Yorkshire giant killings to the most unlikely semi-finals matchup ever. This is the story of the 2007-2008 FA Cup season. Starting off in the first round, and we go to a small non-league team in the southwest of England, Team Bath. Team Bath aren't just any non-league team, but they're a university team. Just 4 years ago in 2003, they became the first university team to reach the first round since 1880. Now, they're here again. Unfortunately, they lose to fellow non-leaguers Chasetown. And another loser in the first round were fallen giants Leeds United, who were playing in the first round of the FA Cup for the first time ever after being relegated to League One. They had drawn 0-0 away at Hereford United, forcing a replay at Ellen Road, which they'd go on to lose 1-0. Into the second round, and a couple of non-league teams reared their ugly heads. Remember Chasetown? Well, they'd caused an upset when they not only went into League One Port Vale and forced a replay, they'd beat them on their own turf, going into the third round for the first time ever. Joining them were Conference Southside Havant and Waterlooville, who'd marched into Nottingham and stunned League Two's Notts County 1-0. When the new year came around, the big boys came to play, as the Premier League and Championship clubs joined the third round of the FA Cup. Well, only some of them came to play. 9 of the 20 Premier League teams were knocked out of this stage, with 5 of them coming to lower league opposition. First, Bolton lost at home to Sheffield United. Birmingham lost on the road to Huddersfield. Blackburn Rovers were thrashed 4-1 at home by Coventry City. Fulham were held by Bristol Rovers twice before losing on penalties, and a stunning goal saw League One's Oldham Athletic beat Everton at Goodison Park. Unfortunately for our non-league team Chasetown, they were beaten at home by Cardiff City. More on them later. And our old friends Havant and Waterlooville continued their giant killings by beating League One winners Swansea City 4-2 at home. In the next round, Sheffield United knocked out another Premier League team by beating Manchester City 2-1. Premier League strugglers Derby County were battered at home by Preston North End. Combined with losses by Newcastle, Tottenham and Wigan Athletic, 5 Premier League teams were knocked out at this stage, bringing the total to 14 after 2 rounds of play, meaning just 6 teams were left. Havant and Waterlooville were rewarded with an absolute dream time, a trip to Anfield, and boy did they show up. Despite taking the lead twice, they would eventually fall 5-2 to Liverpool. A great run for the club, the players and the fans, plus a very good payday. Sheffield United and Coventry City's run came to the end at this stage, and Manchester United dumped rivals Arsenal out with a 4-0 drubbing, bringing the total of Premier League clubs down to 5. Chelsea, West Bromwich Albion, Portsmouth, Middlesbrough, Cardiff City and Bristol Rovers went through to the quarterfinals. Then, I'd like to introduce a team from the south of Yorkshire.
De Silva. Lucas is in there like a flash. Now it's Devaney against Risa. Decent ball as well. It's a terrific ball and it's an equaliser. Foster's there for Barnsley. And the tie is far from over. Stephen Foster. Adijay goes up for it. Away by Carragher. Howard's there once more. Still it's Howard. Still going. Oh yes! He's won it! Liverpool
The draw for the quarterfinals would guarantee at least one of the semi-finals would be a non-Premier League team, as League One Bristol Rovers would host Championship West Bromwich Albion. An all-Premier League tie with Manchester United and Portsmouth, Middlesbrough hosted Cardiff City and Chelsea went to Barnsley.
Throw in again, with 10 yards up from the corner flag on the left-hand side, it's 0-0. Throw-in goes right into the edge of the 6-yard box where Julio Walker heads it out. Surely a foul, but nothing given. Quick feet from Whittingham inside the box and a shot! And a fantastic goal for Cardiff City! They take the lead through Peter Whittingham. Here's a free kick from them. Whittingham's taking it into the area. It's 2-0. It's a header on the far side.
Finally launches, he's looking for Bednar. Was that a push? Mark Kattenberg clearly indicates no, and they lost to Fulham. Here's Bednar holding off one challenge. It's only parried by the keeper, and James Morrison is there to follow up and give West Bromwich Albion the lead. Jacobson won't let him get away easily. Miller! There could be a chance here. It's Miller going through. The flag had stayed down. Ishmael Miller might just have won it for West Bromwich Albion. Second goal of the game for Miller. And the Championship team have This is Corran. Miller just checks his run. Corran finds him. Phillips is racing through. All over now. West Bromwich Embley. Gearan. Miller. He wants three. He wants the match ball. He's got it. Ishmael Miller takes and looks downfield for Milan Baros, and Portsmouth have two up here, and it's Nico Kranjčar, and Baros is square if Kranjčar can find him. It's Baros for Portsmouth. He's brought down. It's a penalty kick, and it may well be a red card. It is. Kuszak is sent off. Manchester United haven't got another keeper. Rio Ferdinand, the captain, will put on the shirt and put on the gloves and face Sully Muntari from 12 yards. Sully Muntari against Rio Ferdinand, standing goalkeeper. Muntari scores! Ferdinand went the right way, but Manchester United are behind and down to 10 men.
Devaney, Odejai wouldn't mind a diagonal cross here, but Van Hummert has come up as well. That is a diagonal cross. It is Odejai. It's a goal for Barnsley, and it's Coyote Odejai in the 66th minute, and Oakwell has gone wild. He hadn't scored since early September, and on this of all days, Odejai gets his first goal in 29 games, and it puts Barnsley in front against the FA Cup holders in the 6th round.
The two best teams in England have just been dumped out of the cup. Now, the cup was opened up to anyone. 3 out of the 4 teams were in the Championship. With the amount of money going around in football these days, it's highly unlikely we'll see this ever again. This was the first semi-finals in the cup in 16 years for Portsmouth, 26 years for West Bromwich Albion, 81 years for Cardiff City, and 96 years for Barnsley. A 9th-minute volley by Joe Ledley sent Cardiff City into the first final since 1927, while a Carnu close-range finish put Pompey into the final for the first time since 1939. The stage was set. Championship underdogs Cardiff City, led by Dave Jones, against mid-table Premier League side Portsmouth, led by Harry Redknapp. With both teams having plenty of chances, Carnu once again was in the right place to tuck in a finish to put Pompey in the lead. Cardiff had the ball in the back of the net, but was ruled out for a foul on Portsmouth keeper David James. And with the final whistle, Portsmouth had won their first FA Cup in a generation. Harry Redknapp became the first English manager to win the FA Cup since Joe Royle in 1995, and to this day still the last English manager to win it. These scenes capped off the FA Cup season we may never get again.